Is n8n dead? Is automation dead? Completely inferior? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly why I think automation is dying, but it's not dead yet, and how you can take advantage of these new tools that are coming out so you can build better automations to automate your business or automate other businesses for them. So let's get right into it. Now, typically, guys, and if you guys are a business owner and you're trying to learn Claude Code, automation building to automate your business, put agents inside your business, build AI employees, go check out my school community. It's in the link below. But let's get right into it. So basically, the question of the day is n8n dead? Is automation building dead? And I'm going to basically break down why that's not the case and where to use these things differently. Now, typically, the old way of building automations is through n8n, Zapier, maybe you have go high level automations, that kind of thing. And with those automations, right, it's very like step by step, right? It's like you have a trigger, and then you go to next, step one, step two, blah, 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 right? It's like in a very, in a sequence, basically. You have to do step by step by step to accomplish a task. And what's great about that is it's reliable, and it is something that you can repeat over and over and over again. The issue is, though, that it's very breakable. It is rigid, right? So like an example is like, let's say that you're using a flow to read your Gmail and read your Google Calendar and then summarize it for you and give you a delivery every morning, right? To update you on your day. The problem with that is, like, let's say Gmail or Google changes like their API. Let's say they change the rules on the back end. So then when this automation runs and the rule changes, it breaks and it stops right then and there. It's like, oh, done. We're done. It won't give me my morning brief. It won't fulfill that workflow. And that's a problem, because when you're running workflows and you are basically trying to automate things repeatedly, and let's say you have clients that depend on these workflows and it stops working, you're fucked, right? You have to go in, you have to debug it, you have to spend time out of your day or resources for a dev coder guy to go in and fix it for you, rebuild it, and then get it running again. And that's an issue. Versus using, say, a Claude Code is more of an agentic type of workflow. So with Claude Code, what it's going to do, and with these just agentic workflows in general, and when I say agentic, I just mean agent, like AI agent, basically. It's kind of like a human being, where instead of, we have the same step-by-step flows, right? But instead, what's going to happen is, let's say it runs into an error. It's going to hit this error, then it's going to go research why it hit the error. So boom, hits the error. The agent's going to go. It's going to figure out why that error happened. Then it's going to come back. It's going to solve the error, right? So it's basically just going to get rid of it, and then it's back to working again, right? And it skips over that error and keeps going, right? So it will solve the error in real time and continue down the path, which is why this is so freaking powerful. Now, before you ask, which is like, oh, okay, no, why don't I just put all of my workflows onto this? That's why I was saying earlier that I still think that n8n is relevant. I still think there's just certain use cases that you're going to use a rigid workflow like this, where you're going to use an n8n, you're going to use a Zapier, GHL automations, that kind of thing. Which really, there's two situations, right? One is if there's an extremely repeatable task that is like, it's not going to break. It's very repeatable. It's like you sending a freaking notification to you every morning to remind you on something. You don't need Claude Code to do that, okay? You don't need to go and waste tokens for an AI agent, right? Like, we all know that Claude is, the usage on there is like you have a certain allotted usage, and you don't want to blow through that thing, okay? With n8n, you're going to essentially save on that, because an agent's not going through and using tokens. Right? It's just rigid, it's straight through, it's just calling different apps. It's not costing you anything to do that besides the n8n subscription. That's it. So if you have something that's extremely repeatable, it's not really it's not like you don't need an agent inside, it's not going to break, it's like very reliable and repeatable, then yes, use n8n, okay? Use n8n. All right? Like for me, and then, so that's the first use case, is like reliability, right? So really is like, one is like, if I'm using n8n, I'm using this for one, reliability, okay? And then two, the second use case is I'm using this, so it's like reliability and repeatability, okay? And then that is definitely not how you spell repeatability. But then two is when I'm pulling large amounts of data. So data pulling on schedule, okay? So well, actually, I'll put schedule. There will be a third one. I'll break down why scheduling is important too. So we'll go schedule as well. But data pulling is when you're pulling mass amounts of data. So an example of this is, let's say I open up my n8n account here, okay, and I'm just going to pull this just so you guys don't see everything here, okay. But let's say I'm using data pulling. I'm pulling mass amounts of data on my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of my ad systems every day. I'm pulling mass amounts of data, or I'll show you guys like a cool use case here, which is like my DM automation for Instagram. So daily, or this is more of like a webhook type of deal. Every time somebody sends a DM to me, or I send a DM back to them, I'm logging it in a database. So this is literally getting triggered thousands of times a day. Like I'm thinking, what is this, April 10th? Okay, this is the old workflow. So I have another one that runs. But basically like this one, this other workflow will run, and it triggers thousands of times a day and pulls data thousands of times a day, okay? If you're using Claude Code to do that, you're gonna blow up your usage limit. You won't be able to use it anymore because you've run through your usage limit literally within a day, right? Which you can't do. And that's in a situation where I would use n8n, right? Is when I'm using it for data pulling, when I'm pulling mass amounts of data daily that I don't want to run and burn a bunch of Claude Code usage limits. Like I don't need Claude Code to go get me a bunch of data, right? Then on the flip side, so that's data pulling. Now the third one is schedule. The thing with Claude Code, and they actually, funny enough, I'm about to make another video right after this, they just released a feature called schedule that will allow you to run scheduled tasks again. But the issue though is you don't want to pull mass amounts of data, and you're limited to the amount of triggers that you can use. But like for schedule, you can run scheduled tasks every single day, okay? Which is where my use case for n8n comes in, which is like I have a schedule that every morning at 6 a.m., it pulls all my Instagram data, TikTok data, LinkedIn data, YouTube data, all 6 platforms that I use, and puts it into a giant database. So it's scheduled every morning. Why Claude Code cannot do that, which the new feature today was released, it somewhat can do that, is because you have to have your computer open 24/7 for it to do it on Claude. Versus for n8n, it runs on a server. So, with Claude Code, it runs on your computer. So Claude Code, let's say this is your laptop, and holy crap, I'm bad at drawing. But like, the moment this laptop shuts, everything's done. Like, there's no more server, it's not running. Versus with n8n, it's in a cloud. It's in a cloud that you cannot see. But it's in a cloud. So every time I run something and I schedule a trigger, I put it in the cloud. That cloud is running 24/7, even with my laptop shut, okay? So when it's running, I can run scheduled workflows 24/7, which is important. The moment I shut my laptop, Claude Code stops working, okay? Now, again, caveat to that is Claude Code, they're gonna replace it eventually, but these two combined is still why I use n8n, is data pulling and scheduling. I schedule mass amounts of data pulling daily. So I don't want to use all my Claude Code usage limits to do something. And that data pulling is also reliable and repeatable. So those 3 things combined is why I use n8n. But it's still it's a use case for only data pulling on a schedule, right? All of my other stuff I use Claude Code. I probably, for my daily workflows, I am probably using, on average, I'm probably using 95% Claude Code, 5% n8n, okay? Because why Claude Code is much better than n8n is, again, how I broke it down, which is agentic. So it can work around problems. You can set it up as an AI employee to go out and read your emails and draft responses. It can run your content system. It can run your ad system. It can create ads for you and launch them on Facebook ads. It can do all of these things for you. So a great example of this is I I had it because I'm doing another video right after this, which is on scraping leads. I asked Claude right here, can you use Apify and find me 10 local businesses that don't have maps or a website on their Google Maps? And it found 10 websites in my area, or 10 businesses that are missing websites that I can go, and I've got all their information now. I've got their phone, I've got their address. It's rated, so I know exactly what type of. So we've got ratings for each one, and they don't have websites. And that was an employee. I literally prompted it one time and went and did that. And while that's doing that workflow, I can go and work on other things. Typically before, if you were going the n8n route, it would do that. But you see, the issue is it started to run into problems. Where it's like, oh, okay, like this is the old actor. I need to get a new Apify scraper. Versus like if this was n8n, in this old Apify actor scraper like got decommissioned for some reason, I'd have to go. It would stop working, and I have to go in, fix it, come back, launch it again, test it, blah blah blah. Versus with Claude, it literally just found the error and worked around it, and then solved the problem, which is sick as hell. So that's kind of the argument between n8n and Claude Code. All right, so if you are a business owner and you are somebody who wants to learn how to use Claude Code and how to build these high-level automations, just like how I showed you, to automate your business, scale your business while not working less, but by automating several pieces of your business so you can crunch down on what you're spending and obviously increase your margin, then I want you to go and click the link below. Go join my Screw community. I've got over 640 business owners inside learning directly from me, where I teach you guys all automation building in n8n, but more specifically Claude Code, how to build skills, how to build short form systems, ad systems, scrape leads, anything and everything that you can think of, specifically made for a business owner. So if that's you, go click the link below, go join right now. But that is everything for today's video, guys. I hope you got a ton of value out of that. Please subscribe. It really helps me and the channel grow to help more people. But that's everything for this video, guys. Go do some action. Peace.